Namaskar. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome you all on this Monday afternoon. It's indeed a great privilege and honor to have hosted you all, the representative section of India's academia, which we at Rethink India have chosen to term as the fifth estate. While the role, relevance, and distribution of rights and responsibilities between the formal estates are well laid out in our constitutional framework, while media, which is ascribed to as the fourth estate of a vibrant democracy, has chiseled out its own characteristic space. Academia, which we choose to term as the fifth estate, is yet to carve out its own independent intellectual existence, even after being at the forefront of all national progress. From Shyama Prasad Mukherjee to Pranab Mukherjee, walking through Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, India's tryst with higher education as a centripetal force for national rejuvenation has been amply evident, whereby members of the fifth estate have emerged to be at the helm of affairs and provided unprecedented leadership to this antiquated civilization, catapulting it to the next leap of lasting progress and prosperity. It has remained the concerted and continued effort of Rethink India to kindle this dominant discourse and chalk out ways and means of catapulting academia to its intended and rightful status in the national superstructure. The National Convention of Edu Leaders and Edupreneurs, which has been convened today, is an explicit attempt in this regard. The felicitation of some of the leading visionary edu leaders and edupreneurs is not just a solemn tribute to the noble and humble profession of nurturing young minds and making them employable, but is a dominant move to initiate the creation of a closely knit community of the most versatile members of the fifth estate, which can take the lead in delineating the national discourse, exercising its indomitable intellectual prowess. While electoral politics leading to the constitution of the first estate, the legislature, has its own relevance and importance in a modern constitutional democracy, the imperative of inducing an intellectual stability pertaining to the contours of national progress lies to a much larger extent on academia, the fifth estate. A university is aptly named so as it harbors a distinctive universe within its bosom, having its sovereign intellectual independence constantly meandering towards ascertaining ways and means of ensuring larger public good across frontiers of human affairs, irrespective of any superficial segmentation. In a growing era of convergence, whereby the advances in science and technology have disrupted the entire spectrum of governance, administration, and management, leading to the advent of a more flat structure, the deeper involvement of the fifth estate in stewarding the national discourse would need to get more intense. Their proactive say in the larger issues confronting the national body need to be amplified and institutionalized. With 790 parliamentarians and 789 vice chancellors of almost similar order, we have a political and academic representation, both sides of similar order. Rethink India shall be endeavoring to further crystallize this discourse and build upon it further. Instead of being a sheer follower of a grand narrative, the Indian academia need to be the front runner of creating and championing the same. It's like recalibrating its very coordinate axis, putting itself to the very centroid and leading the way forward. Ano Bhadra Kratvo Yantu Vishwata, says the Rig Veda, meaning thereby, let noble thoughts come to us from all directions. But thoughts would come only when they would be germinated in all directions. And this shall only happen when academia, the fifth estate, shall assume its self-ordained task of becoming the foremost estate in championing the cause and case of a new India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.